I was making coffee and then it exploded.
Yeah, so bad.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it sucks.
Were you making a half calf, a full calf, or a decaf?
I was making a anti-calf.
Okay. So a full calf.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So, we left off with some of you following the Emperor down into a strange room with a black orb and a magic circle. And the rest of you pretty much stayed in the Emperor's audience room with the golden masked guy and a couple other attendants. So, those of you with the orb, it's like Faeryn, Zumin, and Parthus. So, Faeryn's not here in the. What?
Correct. I don't know if she'll be here. She's at a work dinner.
That's okay. I'll just have to message her on the side about what would have happened. So the Emperor stands in front of this orb. You can barely see anything. It definitely, the room is in black and white, and he says, "This orb channels an ancient and immense power, the ability to speak to the dead. I've used it very seldomly, and now I confer its benefits on you. Harengon, what would you have to say to the dead?"
I need to apologize to my late wife.
Very well. And what was her name?
Lorna.
So, the Emperor motions off to the side of the room, and from a shadowy alcove comes one of these tattooed men, these pale tattooed and robed men, and he starts whispering into the orb, and he's spinning his fingers around the outside of it, and it's completely black, just a dark void, and he's spinning both hands in strange patterns, invoking the magic of this orb. And eventually, he teases out a wisp of blue, silvery magic, and it swirls around you, Zumlin. And it says, "To you only, my dear."
Oh, jeez. Is that really you?
Yes.
Um,
It's me.
Tears in his eyes, drops to his knees. I'm so sorry that what I chose to do for a living cost you your life. I royally screwed up.
It says, "You will find a new way. I forgive you."
No, just with tears in my eyes, mess with the bell, the horn a little bit, but like I'm trying to fix it as I can play it again. Hopefully someday when I rejoin you, you'll hear it.
A wisp keeps swirling around you, and it starts to intensify, and it swirls around all of like your weapon and especially the horn as you bring it out. And as you can see, in just in your hands, the horn is being mended.
Oh, jeez.
And it's about to be done swirling, and it says, "As your horn is healed, so must you be. Be whole again." And it starts to dissipate and fade back into the orb.
Say, one final thing is to stand up. I'll work on that, and you will always live on in my heart.
And then it's back into the orb, and the gray man is just kind of standing there and in just expressionless, basically.
I'll stand up, wipe my eyes, and just kind of take a step back and look at my now repaired trumpet.
Many jubilant songs you can now play on it. And then the Emperor looks to Parthus and says, "Leonin, who is it you would like to speak to?" Wait, is Parthus here? Oh, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, my mic is having issues.
It's okay.
I'd like to speak with my parents, Creon and Kior.
Very well. Your tribe met a horrible fate. Let us see what they can say. And the man steps back up to the orb and starts channeling it again, moving his hands around in strange patterns, but swirling. And once again, the silvery blue wisp starts to coalesce around the orb. And then it shoots towards you, slowly though, much more slowly and cautiously than it did for Zumin. And it encircles you curiously almost, and awaits your question.
Mother, father, who was it that killed you, or what was it?
And then, as you finish the question, the wisp picks up impossible speed and swirls around you at an accelerating rate. And instead of just whispering to you, it swirls around you fast and then splits into two and dives right into your eyeballs. And you're just shooting light out of your eyes as it imparts you with a vision of what happened to your tribe. And you feel almost like it's attacking you because you've turned to these methods of...
Yeah, not so wholesome.
Yeah.
Blood magic.
in order to possibly right these wrongs. And you see a vision of long shadows and more wisps like these are.
Are the wisps like distinguishable as certain? Like, would I recognize them from some way, or is it just in just like a blue orb?
I think that you wouldn't be able to distinguish them, but it's definitely a power beyond the grave. these lights and long shadows descending in absolute chaos among your pride while they sleep. And you were a lucky one to either not be there or to make it out alive. And it sort of confirms the conspiracy theories that you've had so far, that nobody knows of a way, but there may be a way. I mean, there is a way directly in front of you to commune with the dead.
Parthus just thinking to himself of like a way to have a permanent connection with the dead potentially, or to at least find someone with more information, because like you said, I don't recognize in particular, but there's some ghostly apparition. So
This confirms what you should be hunting for. And oh god.
I say out loud, okay, I need to go track down that order of assassins to either learn more about the craft or maybe have them point me to where I need to go.
And almost with spite, they exit your body and return to the orb in a lightning speed. And good.
Just so that Parthus kind of lowers his head, recognizing what he's done, and I'm assuming I can kind of feel they're like upset with me through that. I assume.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of lower my head and acknowledge that I messed up, but this is the path I'm going down.
Well, now it's like by selling your soul like this, you have to redeem, you have to get vengeance for your tribe, but you also have to redeem yourself.
Yep. And Parthus says aloud to them, whether I redeem myself or not, I will at least avenge you.
And Faeryn would have had an encounter as well. And maybe we'll talk about that at another time, where the Emperor will summon her parents and she can speak to them or ask them any questions. And
I think she's on her way home. She'll be here in like 25 minutes.
okay. Well, let's go back to the
Can I
audience.
ask
Yeah, go ahead.
real quick?
Yeah.
Can I ask him where he found this relic or how he came about it? So, because I am just generally interested in finding something.
He walks up to you and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, very good question. This relic predates the Empire itself, and it harkens back to powers that we have not had for millennia.
So there's no one alive that could potentially make a new one of these. I'd have to find one in existence already that's not previously claimed.
As far as we know, this is the only one that exists, but in the deep, dark places of the world, there could be more.
Okay, and then I thank the Emperor for his advice and help.
He says, indeed. Now, back in the main hall, you guys are just kind of chilling with the masked man, and maybe you had some questions for him, and as well as some of the other royal attendants. There were about 4 or 5 of them in total, and they just look like sort of regular citizens, even though they're probably pretty aristocratic. One of them looks vaguely familiar, with wisps of air for hair. Looks like an older Ramiel.
Is it the same guy we saw on the street?
No, that was a younger Ramiel. That was Lamiel. And
It's Damiel.
yeah, this guy's Namiel. No, but it is Ramiel's father.
Dun dun dun.
And he doesn't seem to notice. But somehow he has become part of the king's or the emperor's inner circle, so to speak, or offers some sort of value while the Emperor is holding audience.
I readjust my headscarf and my clothes to make sure that my hair is all covered, but I try to hide behind somebody who's larger, which is probably most everybody. I'll hide behind Melion. He seems like the largest if he's in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't make eye contact.
Oh, hey, Ramil. Everything all right?
I think that my dad is over there in the corner. I don't want to be recognized by him at all. He's one of the reasons I ran away.
I'll kind of fluff my cloak a bit to let it furl out a little more so it covers better. Corbin, have you had any chance to decipher this riddle? Maybe we can gain this masked felt person's assistance or come to understanding with them.
I really haven't. I think it might have to do with maybe further down the river where the land of the dead is, but I'm not sure if we have anything we could tell him about to maybe get him on our side.
True, yeah. Gold mask, silver words. Hides in the light where death whispers. The face is never seen. Yeah. Still no clue. All right. Well, you'll have to talk to him. He won't let me, if you want to try and talk to him. I can't connect with him at all. So, I mean, I could always just say silver words to him, I guess, in my tongue, but it's really a worthwhile endeavor.
What do you think? You want to chat this guy up, Corbin?
Yeah, I would love to. I just don't know what to say, so yeah, that's about it. I guess I just won't.
Well, he's just sort of standing there, arms crossed, and he sort of thinks of something. You could see, and his posture changes, and he steps to the edge of this big circle that you all are sitting on, this sort of dais, and he pulls out a black book, a black folio, starts writing in it.
Can I pull mine out and also just read it? Just open it so he knows that I have one, and maybe he'll see it and notice.
Can I watch his pen strokes from this angle and trying to determine what he's writing?
You can't even write yourself. How do you don't even know how to write?
I can read, I just can't write well. It's
All
like
right.
chicken scratch.
Yeah, you'd have to roll a crazy insight check or investigation.
All right, I'll do insight. Good call. Let's see.
I can't tell how he's doing this, right?
No, I
Not
haven't
really.
imagined so. So just straight. Should roll any second now. There it is. How's that?
Not enough.
Ah. So close.
Maybe he's writing like Leonardo da Vinci, like backwards and upside down.
Perfect.
And then he finishes what he's writing, closes the book, tucks it back away into his jacket or cloak, wherever, and he kind of looking around, and then he stops immediately on Corbin, whatever Corbin's doing. And Corbin, there's this booming voice in your head, and it almost knocks you over. You definitely stagger, and it says, "Where did you get that?"
Can I just think, like, is this kind of like how Melion talks to us?
Yeah, but for this guy,
It's like a spell.
well, like Melion couldn't connect with him. This guy just doesn't receive messages.
Okay.
It's like he's being secretive with his words, but you have to reveal what you're thinking in the form of talking.
Okay.
You're like at a disadvantage.
And I know it's him.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll walk up next to him and say, "It depends who's asking."
He says, he pulls you aside and puts his hand on your shoulder. And he says, "Would you be willing to meet with me?"
Of course.
Very well.
When, or will you reach out to me later?
He gives you a blank card.
Okay.
And
I look at it, like both sides, and I just like give him the shifty eyes, and I'm just like, okay. And I put it in the folio.
he gestures to the sky.
Hmm.
He makes a crescent symbol with his finger. He draws a crescent. With his
Okay.
fingers. Does anyone else have anything they need to do here?
Not that's too pertinent, but Coach is probably just like bored, like sitting around kind of bored, watching everyone just like not really doing anything around here. It's just like, all right, and actually like pulls out one of his books and like after talking to Corbin is like, maybe I should read up on this a little more.
Which one do you have out?
Hold on. I had picked it, but it's in the last session. Hold on. Because it's God. The one about the specific hero.
Mm-hmm. That's the one you pull out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The lock. The legendary hero of lock.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you're just sitting around perusing that. There's a note that comes down from the sort of stands where the other attendants are, and it's for Apuk.
Whoa.
And it says, they deliver it to you. The masked man delivers it to you. And, do you want to open it there?
No.
Okay. Well, we can go back to Faeryn real quick if she's available. Wait,
Negative.
she was here and then she wasn't. All right.
She joked about joining on her phone in the car, but She's not a professional Discorder yet.
It's not for the faint of heart. So anyway, then we'll go back to that. And anyway, the Emperor comes out, and he comes back, and I don't know, Zumin and Parthus, they probably look like they've seen a ghost, and
Because we have.
and the Emperor says, "Very well. Do we still have a deal? I have a task to ask of you."
Coach, could you ask the Emperor for me? I mean, I guess I spoke to the Emperor before, but maybe it's rude since he's so high in station. If they have any information on an old Thrycreen deity or an old Thrycreen hero, maybe? I don't know. Called the Mother.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. Excuse me, Sir Emperor, and I like give like a slight bow. With your wealth of knowledge and aids, do you by chance know of any histories of the Thrycreen at all?
He says, "I do not, but this gentleman here probably would." He refers to the old masked man.
Do I have permission to talk to him as well? I don't want to be rude while you're here with us.
What did you say?
Do I have your permission to talk to him? I don't want to be rude now that you've rejoined us.
Yes, of course. Did you frame the actual question? You just asked about Thrycreen gods in general, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I said like gods and histories.
It's called the Great Mother. That's as much as I know.
He walks up to you, and his fingers are together in front of his stomach, and he says, "What is your query?"
My friend was just curious if you knew anything about some god known as the Great Mother by chance.
And you said this is in regards to the Thrycreen race of which your friend is, assuming he's the one asking this question.
Of course, but he didn't want to be rude. He finds that it's, he at least prefers that to build up some honesty or some trust. He knows some people get nervous about someone trying to talk to them and through their typical ways.
Yes.
Was that yes as in you do know something, or yes as in you understand where I'm coming from?
The Thrycreen refer to the Great Mother is generally a nod to Akhman-Na. There are several desert tribes who find that worshipping Akhman-Na runs deep in their heritage.
Oh, so the Great Mother's Akhmanah then?
Yes.
Oh, fascinating.
Some would consider Rublan the Great Mother, but Akhman-Na predates Rublan by many millennia.
Perfect. Thank you, Coach. That's very helpful.
All right. Great. I think that is what we need. Thank you so much for your knowledge.
Yes, indeed. He seems hesitant to like give you his name, and the Emperor didn't give you his name either.
He doesn't offer, or like he. You said he just is fine with not giving it. You said.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's fine. We got what we need out of him, Mr. Masked Man.
And so the Emperor says again, "Do we still have a deal?"
I guess I look over at the compatriots that just walked in looking a little mortified. Did we?
Well, we don't really have a choice, do we?
I would say we definitely still do.
Definitely do have a choice, or definitely do want to have the deal.
Complete the deal.
Yes. Yeah, I'm all for it. I mean, you guys look worse for wear, like you've seen something terrifying or revelating, I guess. But, sure. You know, it's all for the Empire.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Then I guess we're good.
He says, "Follow me," and you guys kind of form a single file line, and the Emperor leads with the masked man at the back, and they take you down a similar descent as where Zumin, Faeryn, and Parthus had been, except it's on the other side of the palace, and it seems to go deeper. And there's several secret doors with passcodes and like hidden levers that he guides you through. And ultimately, you come to a room that is you're on like a smooth descent, like the walls, you're in a tube almost, and it's made of obsidian, and it's perfectly cylindrical, and it descends down, and you're having a hard time like keeping your footing, but eventually it empties into an incredibly dark chamber that's just made of obsidian, and it is a large oval, and in the center of it is another runed circle, and you see entering in that one of these pale tattooed men has followed behind you with the golden masked man, and the Emperor says, "This is truly the darkest and most powerful secret that we have remaining, and it holds a task that I believe only you can accomplish. This circle, when activated, will take you to one of the deepest, darkest, and forsaken places in all of Chaos Ra, but it is there where you must recover something ancient and lost to time that will allow us to defend ourselves against all adversaries, foreign and domestic. It will not be easy, and it will be, like I said, more perilous than your journey to the Oracle. And if it is any solace, it is the Oracle's words that confirm that this must be done. I will ask you to undertake this task tomorrow. You have 1 day to prepare. And after the sun sets in the evening, during the darkest hour of the night, you will go into this hell on earth.
Oh no, I lost you.
Hello?
Oh no, I lost you.
Yeah, you lost him. Like so.
Emperor says, do I need to repeat myself?
So like it's a pit or like a portal.
It's a portal that takes you to a pit.
I see.
Is it yawning?
No.
I understand. We will prepare best as possible, although who can truly be prepared for black box like this?
Should we get him to sign our Breaker papers, or
I thought you were gonna say life insurance.
before or after, this mission of impending demise?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Okay.
Goldmask could do it.
Yes. I would be happy to sign your papers of incorporation. You have
Fantastic.
approximately 24 hours, 23, before this task must be undertaken. Go prepare yourselves, sleep, and find any necessities that you would need for your journey.
Well, if we're leaving, does the Gold Mask guy come with us?
Yeah, he'll escort you back out.
Can I, tap him on the shoulder and show him my chicken scratch grocery list of magic items?
Mm-hmm.
And, pantomime, where do I find these?
He'll tell Corbin.
Maybe I'll add some clicks in there.
He'll go to Corbin and sort of map out a place, of a variety of, like, a couple places that have old magic items for sale, old and new. So Corbin would start to know where to go to get those.
Okay.
And it's pretty late in the night, so I assume you guys would go back to the tavern you had been staying at the inn.
On the way back, I'll hold that note up just in the moonlight just to see if that does anything, and if not, I'll put it in between me while looking at it,
Okay.
just to see if that does anything.
Yeah, it does reveal itself in the moonlight, and he says he wants to meet you in the very early morning, right before the sunrise. And it's in his quarters in the tower.
Okay.
And it reveals his name to you.
Is it Oberon?
No, I wish.
Yeah. What's his name? What's the name?
Giraffe.
His name is Ishrad
Sweet. What a
Narakis.
great name. Shrad Maracas.
Ishrad
Gotcha.
Narakis.
I trust him.
What about what about the note that Melion got, or not Melion, Epuk?
Hello? I would want to open it in private. I would go in my genie lamp at night,
Uh-huh.
just relax and investigate the tidings.
It is signed from a noble.
A Huda?
A noble named Zamir Kriska.
Okay.
And it says, Hello. I understand that you may have been adventuring with my son, Ramiel Kriska, and I would like to get in touch with him. If it would be amenable to you, I would like to meet with you.
Oh boy. Does he suggest a time or place? Because I'm leaving tomorrow,
Hmm.
and I might not come back.
No, but you could find a way to get in touch with him before you go. Like you have a whole day because you're going in the night tomorrow.
True. The night. Okay. Yeah. I would find a way to meet with him, but I wouldn't tell anybody.
Okay.
What? You should at least tell me.
You've been
So,
too secretive, so now I need to figure out your secret. I need to play both sides.
so, Sarah, are you good to go? Is she here?
She's great to go.
Hmm.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I'm here now.
It's okay. So we'll just go back real quick to where we left off last session with you in this large dark room with a black orb in the middle and sort of a magic circle. There was a pale tattooed man who had conjured up these wisps, silvery blue wisps that seemed to speak to Zumin and Parthus. And so the Emperor had promised you that you'd be able to talk to your parents again. And this pale tattooed guy starts swirling his hands around in strange patterns. And there's a silvery blue wisp that coalesces on this orb and floats out towards you and starts swirling around you. And it says, "My dearest daughter, it is so great to see you again."
I think I would probably just be like, what is this trickery? Not really believing that, like, it sounds like my parents, but I also know that they would know how my parents sounded, so I wouldn't necessarily believe that it was actually my parents talking to me.
Okay.
So I would, like, want them to prove that it was really them. I don't know how they would do that, but
Did you decide on, like, I forget if you decided on, like, what your it's like Swarmkeeper thing was. What was it again?
oh yeah, it's like the little, like, fairy light type things.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit orbs.
So those start popping up all around you, and then they start popping into existence, then slowly fading away. And it says the spirits say, "It is us, Faeryn."
Okay, so now I believe it, but I'm freaked out. Would I, like, understand the type of magic that's being used at all? Or, like, is this the first time I've ever interacted with something like this?
It's pretty much the first time anyone's ever seen this. You could roll, like, Arcana to see if maybe you would know a little more.
I don't have good arcana.
Maybe you could try it though.
Unless someone... There are people with me?
Only
Or-
Zumin and Parthus, and they're kind of
Only
dumb.
someone-
No offense.
Oh, don't give him that much credit.
Dumb and proud.
No,
Okay.
no. Parthus. It's a pride of lions.
Oh, okay. I think I misunderstood.
Let me just put. Okay, I'll just roll Arcana and see what
Okay.
happens. Oh,
Not bad. You have maybe one time in your life you've seen something like this where maybe you were exploring the deep desert and you came upon a strange, unsettling ruin that seemed to just make the skin on your, or the hair on the back of your neck stand on end. And it just felt like such a foreboding place. And this is a similar magic as the aura that you felt there.
yeah. Then I'll just say that I miss them and it's nice to be in their presence again. It's been a long time.
And you say that, and then the Emperor kind of steps up and he says, "This is a moment I've been waiting for so long, too. Faeryn, it is not simply for you that you're speaking to your parents, but also for me.
Really? Why?
You see, your mother was a great childhood friend of mine. And unfortunately, our life's path took us in many different directions. And here I am, the Emperor. And it is my greatest wish for your mother to be returned to us. But until that day, comes, all of this must suffice." And he gestures toward the wisps and the spirits.
Have you contacted my mother already before?
No, it was too risky. I only wanted you to speak to her.
So this magic requires some type of like personal connection, or I guess a
Potentially.
strong personal connection?
Potentially. I certainly wanted it to. I did not want it to fail, and I couldn't take that risk. But now I am confident enough, if you are, to use this. And he pulls out of his pocket an amulet with a perfectly cut and massive onyx gem in the center of it. And he says, "With this, my greatest gift, if you allow it, you will never be separated from your parents again."
Like their soul would become trapped in the gem?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Can I ask my parents how they feel about this? Like, what if they're in a good place? I don't know if being trapped in a gem is a good thing. Is this required for them to ultimately return to the land of the living? Like, is this an intermediary step?
The Emperor thinks it could be. So,
Oh boy.
while they're here, so to speak, keeping their spirits in stasis could allow them to return someday. And if you ask them, they say, "Our beloved daughter, we would love to be with you forever and ever. But at the same time, we may Be free. It is a choice that we leave to you.
Oh man. I feel like Faeryn is kind of like warring between like the natural order of things and like the balance of nature, and also like her parents have been the like main companions of her life at this point until even this group, so very much like torn. So I would like ask the Emperor, do you feel like once we put them in this gem there'd be no going back?
That is not for me to say. It is an ancient magic. There could be some course of return.
Hmm. I feel like for once Farron's emotions actually like win, and she decides to agree with the Emperor and put them in the gem.
Very
So that way they
cool.
can be with her.
That's the more fun route anyway.
I figured.
So the Emperor offers the gem to you. The necklace, the amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
What
take
do I
it?
do with it? I do take it.
All right. So as you hold it in your hand, these wisps swirl around you faster, and they start to go up above your head, and then they combine together and get sucked into the amulet, into the gem, and there is a brief twinkle in the gem deep inside of it that slowly fades. And the Emperor just walks up and puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "You've made the right choice. They will be returned someday."
Okay. I'm already feeling conflicted about it, but I put the amulet around my neck, and they do feel close to me, and so that does give me some comfort.
That's exactly right. You feel like if you've meditated on it in a while, you could literally like ask them questions or talk to them.
Oh.
And then that would be going back to, unless do you have anything else you wanted to do there or talk to the Emperor? Anything to add?
The only thing I wanted to ask the Emperor is if, like, say, like, I don't really recall him in my past, would I have ever met him before now? Or did he know my mother before I came into being?
He says it was much before you were born, but I did meet you one time when you were very small, and it is likely that you do not remember. But I hope this is not one of our final meetings, although it very may well be.
I'm satisfied with the answer, and I'm kind of ready to be done with the interaction. I'm already overstimulated, overwhelmed with the information I've gained.
So, back to, where were we?
Discussing the meetup stuff and
Bad meetup, yeah.
Were we not in the conversation about Romeo?
Oh, yeah. So, Apuk has just received that information.
Privately.
Yeah. Probably while Ramiel is carrying you around in a ring.
True.
So, I assume people are going back to the inn. You've sort of retiring there. So Apuk has some kind of there's three things. Pook has some kind of meeting he needs to be able to go to the House of Kriska, which is not hard to find, and talk to the what is it called?
Patriarch.
Yeah, that's what that didn't seem like it was right though. But yeah, the patriarch there. And then Corbin has a very early morning meeting, just a strange time for a meeting, maybe at the palace, and Corbin now knows where all the great shops are for nicey magic items, and then let's not forget that Denari has been given the robes of the royal archseer of KH Ra, as well as a ring that would indicate that she is, as well as preventing her from being assassinated again.
You mean my legendary item?
Mm-hmm. It'll do something.
Denari, did you hear? Apparently, the Great Mother is Akmena.
I did hear.
That makes us like twins or something, right? Like, you can't sleep, I can't sleep. We're both chosen and given gifts from Akmena.
Yeah, you look very similar too.
Right.
For sure.
You can talk to people through their minds.
Right.
I have this
right.
twitch where I start clicking randomly.
Yeah. I can teach you, the language. It might be hard for your mouth to form it, but, maybe we get you some little clickers. I'm sure they make those.
Before my early morning, like when we get back to the inn, I'll take like a piece of parchment, and I think I can do magical tinkering. So like I'll draw a static map, and I'll make 2 of them in case people want to go shopping.
Okay.
So that way we have some more maps, since I'll be gone early.
Well, perfect. Thank you, Corbin. You're so good at being a friend.
And I also tell you what I want.
Oh, no, now I see it's not just, for us. That's fair. Maybe Gold Mask guy, secret guy, can help us understand what the Lauren people are up to.
Okay.
I was going to ask him about the Great Mother, but it sounds like that's Akmena, so I just need to talk to Denari. Hey, Coach, is there anything else we need to know that we don't know yet?
Wait, is there anything I'm sorry, is there anything else that we need to know from who told what now?
Oh, I'm just wondering is there something we don't know about that we need to know about?
Is there something we don't know? How do we know if we
What's the
don't
meaning
know?
of life?
I don't know. I thought you might know.
Why are we here? Like in general.
Like the overall
Pass the
purpose?
butter.
Like are people asking me the purpose of life?
Are
'Cause
we
I
like
haven't-
at the tavern now, or?
Yeah.
Like, all right. Hold on, there's a lot of questions here. So, Sir Card, are you asking about like why we're here? Is in like life?
Yeah. It's your philosophy. Why are we put here?
Oh, gosh. Let me dig back into this old wisdom. No, honestly, it's to leave something behind. Is really my thought on it. Can't do not a whole lot of point being here unless there's something left behind to make sure people know that you were here, right? I mean, honestly, we're here. We die. Gotta do something with that time, I guess. Honestly, I'm just searching for some greatness here, and up until and while I'm doing that, shit's a gig. See what happens. Kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm not very good at kicking ass.
I understand. I feel that as much as we like to think that our title will carry on after death, the opinions and beliefs of people are so fickle. I would prefer to just focus on doing good and fading into obscurity rather than.
See, no, that's where you're wrong. And I like pull out the book that I was reading. I'm like, this is how you get out of obscurity. You do something so good that people start writing books about you, and people want to know what you're up to.
See.
Yeah, but Coach, don't you think there's some books written about that person that aren't so nice?
I haven't seen any.
Come on, I'll write one just to be that guy.
So you're just gonna be lying about it? I mean,
Well, I think what Sergar is trying to say is you can be remembered incorrectly as well. Would you prefer to not be remembered at all, or hope that you're remembered in good light?
I guess it doesn't matter, right? I mean, if you're not
Exactly,
remembered at all,
it doesn't matter. So stop thinking about it. That's what I'm saying, man.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Why is everyone getting on me about this? I was asked a question. I'm answering the question here. Now all of a sudden, oh boy, there's Coach. He's got the weird beliefs. And, he can't throw a punch. He can't do this. But you know what? I can do things.
Fair enough, Coach. Speaking of which, you want to do a lesson in the morning?
Yeah, you could use it.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. Besides, I was thinking about it, actually. I think you and Parthus could probably kick each other's ass for a little bit. It'd be good for both of you.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm starting to get the hang of this javelin, but now I gotta work on my transition game. Like, if I'm slashing someone up, just absolutely dicing them, how do I, whip out the javelin if they start to fly away or something? I gotta get that going, so.
Oh, you need to learn some quick hands.
Yeah.
I actually think I know something. And actually, I was working on something. We'll see if I can ever figure out how it actually works. I've been mulling it over, so we'll see.
All right,
might help you get in there.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
We'll see if I can ever figure it out. At this point, it feels like I'm just pulling these things out of the hat.
Well, I'll remember you anyway.
This is exactly the behavior that, as you're saying these things, Kaizen, you really think about the pariah and the nightmare status. It's just sort of the contrarian nature of Kaizen seems to be what the Oracle is referring to as his greatest strength. And you don't really know why yet. There is literally a reason. But that's the thing. It's you remember how when you said early on, you just thought Akbana just came to people, and it Denari was maybe it's not really like that actually because I studied it, but that's the kind of stuff that is
right.
causing the Oracle to call you the nightmare.
Right.
Yep.
So these massive magic items. Talk about it.
Yeah, what is this stuff? Some sort of performance enhancing things you guys are using?
Not yet.
Sorry, that you want to be using.
You think someone gets to be this large without performance enhancements?
Oh, I'm all natural, baby. That's why there's no muscles at all on this frame.
Yeah, I gave up on trying to get you to do
All
push-ups.
natural, can't sleep. 3 arms, all natural.
I got 4 of them, baby.
Yeah, no sleep does wonders for the muscle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Melian, I'd give you a little tale of how Akmanaz helped me, but I mean, yeah, I know she can't really help you, so sorry.
Yeah. Dude, let me tell you, that one time I supposedly slept. Horrifying. How do you people do this every day? It's terrifying.
It may seem horrifying at first, but reflect on it, and you realize
That's
When
the
you think
problem.
about how awful life is,
All it
it's
was
pretty
was
great.
like a memory
I was
reel
gonna say
of
it the
my
other way around.
failures.
If you realize how awful the dreams are, the
Alcohol
life
helps.
is so much better.
Exactly. I just want to stay awake forever now. But never want that to happen again.
I was joking with what I said, by the way. But yeah.
And I appreciate it, Zumlin, but alcohol not necessarily the best thing to stay aware and focused.
Why
So
it's tied to going to sleep.
that's I do notice people seem to fall asleep a lot when they drink a lot of that stuff. They'll just be sleeping right there at the table in the tavern. It's kind of crazy how easy it happens to some people.
You got to know your limit.
Yeah, I don't think I'm of the proper age though to drink. Somebody said once you're supposed to be like 14. I don't know if I'll live that long.
I think that's based on more of like a maturity thing of however old you typically get.
Yeah, there's probably some kind of conversion or standard for different races, depending how long people live.
Mm.
It's been
Are,
great.
are there drinking laws? Like drinking age laws?
Not really.
I was gonna say.
I just said I heard someone saying that, like, oh, you can't have that, Charlie. You're only 12. You have to be 14. Some lady.
I haven't heard that.
It
I
could have
was
been
raised in the middle of nowhere though, so not many people drank anyway.
So, what do you think this crazy ancient? Oh, we should probably go shopping.
Got platinum burning a hole in my luggage.
Yeah. I also just want to, be better at what I do. And, like Surgar said, sometimes, the gear maketh the man. I think he said something like that.
Exactly. It's not good for a paladin to be holding on to so much money. It's not right. Have to give it to the people.
By that you mean small business owners?
Exactly.
While you purchase their goods?
I'm a capitalist at heart. That's it.
Corbin's got all my money.
I've got an LLC.
I don't have all of it. You have 300, so.
That's because I can't hold the rest.
Wait, really? It's too heavy for you?
Yes. I just can't bear it.
What else are you carrying? Jesus.
Oh, 50
Mail.
pound set of armor.
I would say I'm frail and I'm doing okay-ish. I'm close. I'm real close.
My money's like the only thing I have on me.
Yeah, now that I look, that's kind of true too. I got all these daggers. And that's about it.
You can leave stuff on your camel.
And they have it stolen?
Yeah, if someone steals my rope, they can have it.
Oh yeah, I don't have any rope.
They probably need it more than me.
Yeah, they might.
Now, if they steal my camel,
Now there's a fight in the woods.
there's a fight.
So you guys have had pretty robust discussions around the inn tables, and the night's winding down, and some of you go to bed, some of you stay up all night. and it's going to be an pretty busy day ahead. So
Nari, should we test if your robe/ring protects you? I could try and assassinate you. Nobody's around, You could heal yourself, maybe,
It's true, I do have second wind.
unless I kill you. Maybe we shouldn't.
I mean, you. Oh wait, you're actually like talking about trying to. Well, I can hear you. Never mind.
I figured while everybody's asleep, this is just what melee I would bring up randomly during the night while we don't sleep.
I have to recruit people for Akmanat and the Oracle. You should come because you are interested in her now.
It's like a cursory interest, like, I don't know, like a hobby you don't really get into all that much.
Yeah, but you
But
can
when you
come
do,
if you
you're
want.
like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. So does she have like psychic powers? Like, does she create knives or speak in people's brains other than dreams?
I feel like she could probably do that.
yeah, of all the deities, and you probably would have studied this a little bit, she is the one probably most associated with the awakening of these psionic powers in people.
Interesting. So maybe there's more to it. I'm just looking for ways to practice my mental abilities, but we could figure it out on the way to the convent.
Alrighty, so it's pretty much the early morning, and Corbin is going to be getting up, presumably to go to the palace of the Emperor, right?
Yep.
Alright. Everyone else will be waking up, probably, I don't know. Kaizen probably needs a full night's sleep. I don't know what time he would wake up to smash his routine, but
Probably keeping a little light this morning. Just some good stretching. Prepare for my work routine with coach, hopefully.
so
Anyway.
no, I
Yeah,
love
no, I'm ready to go.
that. Coach is just wearing gym shorts and a white t-shirt. He knocks on your door before the sunrise.
It's just a white polo. Somehow I have a whistle. Parthus is just standing behind me, ready to go already. He's used to this.
Corbin made the whistle for you. You just like, I need something that will be really loud, and I can do it at will. And then Corbin just invents the whistle.
I mean, I could. Do you need a whistle?
I mean, that might be helpful. Something to like get their attention quicker.
Sure.
In case they get far away. I mean, Kaizen's pretty fast, and I mean, we saw Parthus when he first came charging in. I mean, they're both kind of quick.
Yeah,
Actually,
I
that might
did.
be good to get in touch with Faeryn too, in case she's like all the way out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. That would be good.
Well, the problem is I could make a thing that makes a sound, but I think it only goes like 10 feet. So I don't know if it's that useful.
Okay, maybe not. We can work on it. Maybe we can figure something out. You're smart. I'm sure you can think of something. But yeah. Real quick, just for the training thing, if we are actually up and doing it, I will try and pull a spell out of my playbook to see if it's gonna be helpful for Kaizen.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So, first things first. I don't have all of them, but I will do this. All right. It's been so long. How do I pull a spell? Tales from Beyond. Crap. What's the Tales of Behind? Is it Bard? I really just need to have this hotkeyed.
So, yep, you guys are getting up to train. There's specific training yards that are definitely more than you normally have at your disposal for running around. You could probably find one big enough to toss the javelin, and yeah. So you've got some professional grounds on which to train. And
I would wake up early.
okay. And you're starting to look for the Kriska residence.
Yeah.
Okay. So Corbin heads to the palace, and he's escorted pretty quickly to the quarters of the spy master, aka Ishrod, and he's sitting in this semicircular room at a crescent-shaped desk, and he sort of waves you in. He's been at work already. It seems like for several hours. He's completely engaged in something, and he says, telepathically, he says, "I am so glad you came to meet me."
Yeah, I'm glad you invited me.
He says, he stands up and says, "What is it that you seek?"
I seek knowledge.
As do we all. Specifically, you seek forbidden knowledge, is that right?
Yes. And to answer your question from yesterday, I got this from the Oracle.
Interesting. Perhaps it is written that you should join our ranks, but then again, perhaps it is a secret you could not deal with.
I've known quite a few secrets over time.
But you know nothing of our great mother, Shehenazine. Is that true?
I thought the Great Mother was Akmana.
That is neither here nor there. You know nothing of Shehenazine, is that correct?
Nothing yet.
I can tell that you seek knowledge of the forbidden, knowledge of the empty and the black. I understand the Emperor has tasked you with this incredibly difficult endeavor. Return from that place of absolute darkness. With a shard of pure, secretive black, and you shall be initiated.
What do you know of this place?
This place predates the Empire, predates even some of the gods. It is somewhat of a crucible, and also a tomb. A tomb containing the greatest weapon to ever have existed in our lands.
Is it in Shinduai?
That is unknown. I do not even know this information.
Okay. What do you know of all these Lorne characters coming? Seems like been a lot more trouble when passage from this carnival.
There have been more coming to all of our cities. They seek to spread their religion, their fanaticism of the mortal Lorn.
Do you think they're a problem?
They're not a problem now, but they will be.
Have
But
you
it
heard
is-
reports of?
They're not the only problem.
Okay.
We believe the shining city of Mithras is also not the ally they say they are.
Okay.
But it could all be misplaced, and perhaps it is all tied to our mithril. Perhaps we need to increase the reserves that we export.
You think you need to export more?
Yes.
Could that fund the enemy? Or equip the enemy?
It very well could. But there are reports from Lorne that they have discovered their own natural resource. So again, return from this place with a shard of devotion to Gehanazine, a crystal of pure black, and we shall see that you are initiated to our fold.
I will see you again with one.
Yes, make sure you and all of your compatriots are well equipped to undertake this journey. And if you don't have anything else, then we can go to Apuk, who easily finds the Kriska residence because it is one of the most opulent in the city. And you're escorted in by some genocide, which are the race of Ramiel. They all have these wisps for hair, but some of them you can tell are not of the air element. They might be more earthy or fiery. And you sort of feel at home yourself, mainly because of your patron. You have access to the sort of magic that would sort of latently be in these people's bloods, and maybe that makes you jealous or bitter because you never got any magic of your own bloodline, but the patriarch seems ready to receive you.
I receive myself.
So, in a very golden and opulent audience chamber, there's sitting this same guy that you saw yesterday who would have passed you the note. And he says, "Hello there. You're Apuk, right? Like I said, I heard you traveling with my son Ramiel, whom I haven't seen in the city, and I was wondering of his fate."
I am a Pook Tazgrex. Who are you exactly? Why do you summon me?
I am Zamir, the patriarch of House Kriska, here in the capital city of Sanctethanos. It is my bloodline that carries with it much weight and wealth from ages past, and my son has run away from his inheritance, from perhaps you could say his destiny.
What would be destiny? Does not one have a free will?
Yes, one does have free will, but generally one also must accept that which is bequeathed, and then do with it what one would. Sometimes it is the act of receiving a gift that is most holy.
If I were to receive this gift and fulfill the destiny,
Well, that is what I wanted to talk to you about, actually. Perhaps you might keep this inheritance safe, and perhaps even pass it to Ramiel if you ever come across him again.
what is it that we speak of? Is this an object? An omen?
Unfortunately not, it is more banal than that. Simply a very large sum of golden wrist coins kept in a highly secure vault.
And how would I take it with me?
Well, you simply would receive this note.
I see. And you would like me to find this Ramiel and pass it to him?
Indeed, yes. The the note is addressed to Ramiel and contains the details of his inheritance, which, by the tradition of our people, he must receive.
I see. I will do what I can. In return, what can you give me? Why should I do this favor for you?
Indeed, a great question.
What do you know of the Sorcerer Kingdom?
It has been a long time since my studies focused there. I know they claim an ancient and terrible magic, one that seems to travel in their bloodlines. And I know some of their power might derive from my ancestors. Unfortunately, that power did not accrue to me. But it seems you yourself may have some semblance of this. Because he kind of notices some very subtle parts of your appearance that are maybe influenced by your patron that sort of indicate where your power comes from. Maybe it's like the shape of your shoes or like just even the ring.
The shape of my shoes.
Yeah,
Little pointy genie slippers.
exactly. And
Every time you take them off, they just grow right back.
he says there's maybe something that could be of interest to you. An ancient trinket. And he waves in some attendants come in. They have on a red pillow a golden oil lamp. It's
Oh
something
my.
it's something we wouldn't mind parting with. We're not sure it necessarily works anymore, but it certainly works for its own intended purposes. And
What are its intended purposes?
providing
Trap.
light, burning incense.
But it's
And
made of gold.
indeed, it is an antique and valuable piece unto its own.
I will accept this gift, and I will do what I can to give the note to its intended recipient, but I can make no promises.
So the attendant walks forth and gives you the lamp and sort of a promissory note or certificate of deposit, some official document that talks about that mentions Ramiel's inheritance and where it's at, and hints at the value of it.
What's the hint?
It's probably worth more than 100,000 gold.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Useless. You can't take over the world with 100,000 gold.
Maybe not the world, but maybe one small southwestern part of the world. Southeastern, in fact. So, yeah. And as the sun is rising red in the sky, he would say, I'm afraid that's all the business I have. It was very nice to meet you, Apuk.
Very nice to be acquainted. May we meet again.
So, at this point, everyone else has probably gotten up, and you need to be thinking about how you're going to equip yourselves to go into this forbidden subterranean place of pure darkness.
Which of us have dark vision? Which
I was gonna say, is this gonna be
not?
Definitely, I'm interested in improving my healing capacity just by seeing if there's any potion brewers in town that can sell some potions of healing or something of the like.
Okay.
Parthus is interested in getting a new halberd. His is kind of, scuffed and damaged, and he just like an improvement.
Okay.
I'd probably go with Parthus then. See if I can get a little more hardy of a great axe.
I just want new armor.
Okay. So put in the chat like one thing you're looking for specifically, like the most important thing.
You're gonna make me pick one right now.
Okay.
My comment on the potion of healing was more of a party wide comment.
No, sure. So, the shop that's been marked on your thing is called Blades of the First Tempest, and Corbin is probably back pretty soon, and he's able to take you guys around on a field trip, a shopping trip, like this, and then so yeah, you're able to go to the Blades of the First Tempest. You guys are probably, let's just say you're all sticking together and going along. So here at this place, you're able to buy a lightly enchanted magic weapon. the source of it is sometimes not clear. It could be made from a artificer here. They're not the best, but they can certainly make these pretty rudimentary magic weapons given enough time. But some of them would probably be from like far away lands or even like ancient times. But any +1 weapon would be 500 gold plus the base cost of the weapon. So any of you who wanted to buy a weapon,
500 gold plus the base cost,
yeah,
and you said it's only a +1 weapon,
yep.
and that they're crude.
They're not crude. They're very well crafted. I mean, these weapons are head and shoulders above your run-of-the-mill weapon, and they don't dull. They're magically reinforced. The +1 gives a +1 to attack rolls and +1 to damage. So these are sort of top of the line for what you can get at a shop like this.
Is there a trade-in? Can I like sell them my current halberd?
You could do that, yeah. But the trade-in would be like half the value, so you still have to pay the other half, which would be. I wish I knew. I'm looking at a halberd, but it doesn't say the cost. So
20 gold pieces.
yes, you'd have to pay 10.
That's fine.
Okay.
I just don't need to carry 2 6-pound halberds.
Yep.
Cool, I'm gonna go with that.
All right. So you pay 510 gold. You lose a halberd, and you gain a +1 halberd. Very sharpened edge. Same thing for Zumin. And maybe Kaizen would want to buy a magical short sword, or is he kind of looking for sharpening stones or something?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he definitely would be looking for, like, he probably hasn't sharpened his in a while, so he's just looking to sort of polish it up, but kind of wanted to take it to a professional since there were more tradesmen in town, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have a little connection to the short sword.
Mm-hmm. You can definitely find some sharpening stones. Let's see.
I don't know if sharpening matters if if we're not tracking the dulling of a weapon anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
it's more just
most of the time you have a whetstone already. In older editions you would just have one, but you could buy like a magical one if you really wanted to up your game. Is that what you want to do?
I'm thinking.
Okay. So Faeryn, you're able to get a magical longbow from the same shop. They have like a woodworker too. They got somebody make all weapons, and so you could buy a +1 longbow for the same kind of philosophy as Parthus was doing. So you could pay half the 500 gold plus half the price and trade in your old longbow. You could even keep your old longbow if you wanted to.
I feel like I would do that, and I'd probably trade it.
Okay.
Because why not?
Sure. There's not many choices, but there's like 2 to 3 for each weapon, and you can probably get like a more worn one that looks like more elvish. Your bow, I don't know where you got it. Maybe I don't know if it was like the very first longbow you had, or like what kind of connection you had to it. I mean, maybe it saw you through many travels and travails, or maybe the one that you were attached to like broke, and this was a replacement to begin with. So, but you could find one that's like more elfy, and like the adornments and embellishments on it look, suit your taste more, whatever that taste may be. But at the end of the day, it's a +1 longbow, so make sure to add that to your sheet and then subtract 525 gold. And then for Kaizen,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with if there is a storyline with the magical sharpening stone, or just a special sharpening stone.
yeah, the proprietor of the shop would see that you're sort of attached to your weapons and, obsessively sharpening them even while you're looking for more, and, try to sell you on this other whetstone. Um, um, and this whetstone would cost you 500 gold pieces.
All right. I say, so you got all these fancy weapons here. Do you think this will help me change my old dog here to one of those good-looking guys, or?
Mm-hmm. He says, I'm loath to part with this, but it seems like it might serve you better than it does me. And there's this like whetstone that has a rune inscribed on it.
Take it.
All right, so 500 gold pieces. This is what you get. I don't think this is on DDO or D&D Beyond, and it's not as powerful as this. I might have to make one.
All right.
Basically, this says every combat you have to move, you have to attack people, which will not be the case with yours, and yours will only have like 20 uses, and then it will lose its magic.
Okay.
Well, Coach already got his whistle.
No, I need a. Corbin said that his could only do like a 10-foot sound, so
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not very useful.
I could shout louder.
It's almost like a dog whistle, but
Denari wanted armor, and the armor place is pretty close to the weapon place. It's called the Gilded Aegis. It's known for its intricate craftsmanship and protective enchantments. So, you probably head there, and you wanted to buy some armor. Like, what type of armor are you looking for?
Something lighter. It doesn't. If it has something cool about it, that's awesome. But I need it to be functional. It needs to be lighter.
So, mithril is very light. Did you want to look for like a set of mithril armor?
Yep.
Okay. What type of armor? I think you might be proficient with more than you were before. I'm not sure though. 'Cause you're a fighter now, but I don't know if fighters gain.
I think she could do heavy even with the her initial, whatever you call it.
Really?
What do clerics do? What do they pick at level 1 or used to?
Their domain.
Yeah, I think the domain she picked had heavy.
That would be fire.
So I think like ring mail is
Yeah.
lighter than scale mail.
I think as long as you're proficient, fine for casting and all that.
Yeah. I just didn't know that Twilight got heavy armor.
I think they do.
They do. So you could get splint, chainmail, ring mail. And maybe a shield as well. Or I don't know if you even use a shield.
I think I have one.
Okay.
I don't know if I use it. That's a different story.
So you gave me your
I
original
don't think
one. But
I don't think you
I
have one right now. Oh, you gave it back?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, then we can swap that later.
So chainmail might be what you really want to go for. Is your strength 13 or higher? Hopefully.
Maybe. What the
14.
heck?
Good.
Oh, son of a. Thank you.
14's good to wear chainmail. Or ringmail if you don't like the weight of a chainmail. Let's see what the weight looks like.
It depends. What would the mithril make it?
Um,
Because right now she's at 45 pounds, so less than that.
it's like a third of the weight
Oh, nice.
and 3 times the cost. So, man, these tables suck.
Sorry, Nick, really quick. When you say remove attack clause, you mean remove the idea that you have to use it for every attack?
It says if you enter
stuff.
combat before your next long rest, you must spend every action and movement with the intent of
Right,
attacking
right.
your opponents. Yeah, that's not the way this should
So
work.
basically, treat it as a +1 weapon 20 times if you sharpen it before the
Yeah.
next combat.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And wait. Yeah, this thing is so weird. Like it says if you do not, or if you spend a turn outside of combat, you instead have disadvantage on your next attack, so it's not going to work like that either. There's no other benefits or drawbacks other than the +1/+1 and the crit on a 19.
Okay.
So, in terms of armor, you could buy a chainmail or a splint. The ringmail or the chainmail. The chainmail is 2 more AC. You'd probably want that. Actually, yeah. What do you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably. That sounds like something I'd want.
So that's 225 gold.
Deal.
I'll take it from mine.
Oh, phew. Thank you.
And then
Love the bag of holding.
Yeah, that way it's not in the bag of holding anymore, and you can keep yours. You said 225.
And then whatever armor you had, you could sell for half the price.
Yeah, you can have my scale mail.
All right, so that adds 25 gold. So you basically paid 200.
Sweet.
For mithril chainmail, so make sure to add that. And you might have to update the wait. I don't know if it's doing it on its own. Whatever 55 divided by 3 is. And then what else are we looking at here? A luckstone. Good.
Want to look for something very specifically to help me see in the dark.
Denari might be able to give people dark vision. Or am I trolling?
Kind of.
Yeah. For 1 hour.
Or a big spell slot?
Or spell slots. 1 hour or a spell slot. Like you can do it once and then spend spell slots again to do it again. And it gives 300 feet of dark vision.
To how many people?
Enormous.
4 people for 1 hour.
I can't see 300 feet.
So that might be a good substitute. And that lamp can function as a +1 implement for you, Doug.
Oh,
Or maybe there's
sick.
something cooler. Hold on. Maybe there's something cooler. Alright, so we'll keep going back down this list next time and get everything sorted out, and then by the time night falls, you will be going on an adventure.
Awesome.
Alright. So, just as a rule of thumb, like, an uncommon item will cost 500 gold, and then, like, a whatever is after uncommon is pretty much not affordable. So you can kind of buy at most like 2 uncommon items. So if you have gold left over, think about maybe one more thing you might want to buy, and we'll confront that next time. All right.
Sweet.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.